Oh no, it's an alien. All right. Been sitting on this for a while. It's time to dive into this old Alienware computer and see what all the hype is about. Come on, let's dive in.
Gork, where is computer? Where is computer, Gork? What did you do with that computer, Gork?
Let's see now. Connectors here, USB connectors, that kind of stuff. Nothing terribly exciting there. They've got some metal plates right here for weight. We've got some screws up here that are going to have to come off. And let's see, what do we got back here? Do you come up? All right, well, we're learning as we go here. I've never done one of these before. But as with all things in scrapping, the first thing to do is just start taking out screws. These four are definitely going to be for the, you know what, I'm not going to say, oh, I see, that's a fan. All right, so we've got a fan there, plastic, power supply down here. Did I get you? There we go. Got you. All right. Oh, look at that. The power supply slides out once you get it disconnected. Interesting. All right. Now, I'm sure that some of you already know how this opens, but I've never done one, so I don't know how the sides come off here. I'm going to be finding out, aren't I? Ooh, I think you might be a latch for something. There we go. Wow, that's a kind of a complicated mechanism to get the side off. So we've got sheet metal with a lot of plastic hanging on it. They have a lot of cool drawings right on the plastic to help you understand where things are going. So that piece looks like it was telling me hard drive configurations. Cool. So you could have put 4 hard drives in here. There's 4 hard drive configurations. Cool. That's a fan caddy there. This looks like an antenna. There's a penny in here. That's probably why it died. There was a penny inside of there. All right, let's see here. What else do we have going on? This is a fan caddy. And now I got it jammed. And we'll work on that here in a minute. Yeah, I probably need to get the wires out of there in order to get that out. So, but I found the latch to open this up. Wow, man, they really have some have some slick stuff built into this. Get the power supply disconnected here. At least I'm going to try to. There we go. Now we can get the power supply out of the way. So there's the power supply. And how big was this? This was a Dell. 200 output is 225 watts. Okay. Oh, and then it has another output at 825. Cool. All right. I want to get you off of there. Some sort of antenna looking thing. And my friend Scrapping Irish right now is salivating because he sees the gold that's right there. That's really cool. I'm going to put that with my gold stuff. All right, now. Power boards. A lot of cabling in here that I'm trying to get organized and out of the way. Most of you know that my normal approach is to get all of the cable out of the way. This thing has an interesting wire run, sort of a cable organizer thing in here. With a lot of clips and stuff to keep all your wire from getting tangled up mess. Now then, let's see here. I think we might be cutting a bunch of wire out of the way just because what they've done makes a lot of sense for organizing the all of the arrangement in the boards, but it makes it somewhat challenging to get all the wire out of the way because it's still a bunch of stuff that's connected to a bunch of other stuff that I haven't gotten to yet. Let's see, let's cut some of the stuff that appears to be holding up the show. See if that helps us. Got to get the wire out of the way because I just can't see everything right now. There we go. Get over there. All right. Wow. Man, it sure looks like an alien with all the wire hanging out here. Okay. Now then, we have a bunch more wire here. Well, I can certainly see that they have spent a lot of energy organizing this thing to make it easy for you to be able to go in and say, all right, I want to add some more computing power. I want to add some more RAM. You know, it's all set so that you can get at those parts without having to dig through a lot of other things. It just, the way they've done that makes it difficult to take it apart. That's all. Got a little fan there. We'll get that out. We'll get at that in a little bit. And let's see. How do you want to come off? I'm sure there's some easy way to take you off. There we go, just like that. More plastic. This looks like another fan module. Yep, another fan module. Definitely trying to keep air moving throughout this thing, which makes a lot of sense. as for a gamer, right? These would be going up to all those connectors that were up there, those USB ports and such. I imagine there's probably a couple of gamers out there right now that are looking at this going, oh my God, I can't believe you're taking that apart. When you see the inside of this, you would understand why I'm taking it apart. I mean, there's a lot of nasty inside of this, so something went really bad with this PC. All right, bunch of wire, more bunch of wire. Get off of there. Da, da, da. There's our CD. Not expecting much. As new as this is, that CD is going to be a really small board, I'm guessing. I'll get this wire cut. Here we go. So there were a lot of connections on the top up here, so there was a bunch of wire for that. And I think this is a water-cooled system. Yeah, there's a radiator. So we have a water-cooled system. Here, I'm going to let you take a look inside here real quick, so you can get an idea what we're talking about. Here's the motherboard. Here's the CPU cooler, the radiator for it. So we'll take that off. Got more wire going on here. Alienware Xeno something or other board here, I/O board. So that was where a lot of the connectors were going in there. And when you were looking inside there, did you see all the gunk and munk that's in there? Yeah, so there's that real nice board there. I'm throwing that in with my peripherals. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in with peripheral high grade. I don't know if you were able to see the extent of nasty that's inside of this. It's like there was chipmunks or something living in here. I guess chipmunks, you know, they must like to play games too, right? I can just hear somebody yelling at Alvin right now to get off the game. Alvin! Oh, it's a different kind of chipmunk. Never mind. All right, so we've got the cooler, the CPU cooler off. We see the bent arm, so we know that that is going to be some sort of I series. So let's get that paste cleaned off of there and see what we've got. So it's an i7-2600. I know that you gamers are saying to yourself, oh my God, that's so old. Let's see now, get this motherboard out of here. Interesting that they also have heat sinks on a bunch of other components here. Again, I don't do a lot of gamers, so I'm sure that for those of you that are really into gaming PCs, this makes perfectly good sense to you. And you're saying, well, yeah, duh. So we get that fan off of there, we'll get the motor off of that in a little bit. Nice copper aluminum radiator here. Let's get the screws off. Oops. All right, so copper aluminum radiator. My yard will buy that as a copper aluminum radiator. I could also go in here and cut the aluminum from the copper tubing right there. Now I've got some number 2 copper, and I still have copper aluminum radiator.
A small update since I recorded this. My yard is now treating the copper aluminum heatsink radiator combinations as refinery. Just started doing this. They used to pay me as copper aluminum radiator, but now it's refinery, so I'm going to have to rethink what I'm doing with these now.
Get the CMOS battery off of here. So, oops, let's also get that. There we go. Another radiator. In this case, it's aluminum heatsink. All right, so here is the motherboard. Now, this is a small socket motherboard. Board sort would call this a metal small socket, colored. My yard, this is a mid-grade board because it's colored. So for my yard, it's got to be green to even begin to be considered a high-grade board, and then it either has to be a motherboard or a server, something like that. So for my yard, mid-grade board. If you are into depopulating, these newer boards, there's a few things. There's some BGAs scattered around. There's some MLCCs. There's some ICs. Don't waste your time on the flip chip. These ceramic chips here, there's very little gold value for a home refiner kind of person. This just isn't a very good board for depopulating. There just isn't a whole lot that a home refiner could get much gold value out of. So for me, that's no big deal because I'm selling this to my local yard as a mid-grade board. If you are close enough to board sort, just go look at their categories for their metal small socket boards. Back to the frame here, we have another little fan right here. Lots of fans. Boy, they kept the air moving. And we have a board here that has a lot of power connectors on it. So this was just some sort of power transfer kind of board for all the little fans and motors and things. So again, I find it interesting the way the Alienware folks have designed this computer so that you can get to a lot of the stuff without having to do a lot of digging around inside of it. They've got all these little strip boards with connectors and stuff, and with the schematics you would understand what you had to connect where. So this is just a low-grade board, nothing exciting about this. Yeah, now we have empty shell, and I just want to confirm, but yeah, it's all ferrous. Go ahead and get the rest of the wire out of here that I can. A couple little pieces here that I want to get. Now these coolers, there'll be probably oil in here. There might be some sort of like water kind of thing in here, but I think that these use like a food grade mineral oil or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. One of them I took apart the liquid was oily. So I'm not going to bother taking this apart.
I am instead going to give it to one of the guys at the scrapyard who asked me for parts for a PC that he's building up, and a liquid cooler is one of the things that he asked for, so he's going to like this.
All right, this CD, I'm not expecting much. This is a pretty modern, relatively modern machine, so this board is probably going to be pretty small. Yeah, it's a small little board. There's a little bit of gold plating there, so we'll pull that, keep that. That'll go in my CD-ROM board box. That spindle is brass. Pretty easy to get that out. Just pop off that end and then pry this end out of the motor. There we go. Ah, there. If you're new to this game, there's going to be 3 motors in a CD-ROM. One there, one there, one there. This motor opens the drawer. This motor right here is for spinning the disc. And then this motor drives the reader head. So, let's see. Should be easy enough. Nah, don't want to play, of course, because I figure, well, I might as well show it to you since I'm here. So for my yard, I can take the motor that moves the spindle. I can take it in just like that. I'll pull off that little bit of wire, but I can take it in just like that. Look how cheap that is. It already fell apart. Well, okay, this is no longer a copper bearing motor because there's the copper that it was bearing. So yeah, I can throw that in with my number 2, I guess. Oh man. Let's see here now. What can we do about this other motor without destroying it? Maybe. So this motor here, my yard will take it just like that. Even though there's a bunch of metal still hanging on it, it's very hard to get that separated. So you can throw that in like that. If your yard will take it like that, all depends on your yard. This motor can sometimes be a little bit squirrely to get out because it might be connected to the gears on the other side, but in this case it came off without any trouble. You can see right there it had a little band on it that went to the slide mechanism. But there's another little motor there. Now, oh, and a low-grade board. For my purposes, though, I don't mess with all of that when I'm breaking down computers because I'm banging through this stuff. I pull the board off, and then the rest of it goes in with my shred. But as a hobbyist, if you want to go after this stuff, go for it. These little metal rods, you can pull those. I used to pull the reader's heads. Some people got really excited about reader heads. You know, they found a little tiny piece of gold in there, and then everybody was looking at, oh, I got to get that because I want to get the gold. And man, it's like microscopic. Not worth it. Not worth it. All right, so I am going to get these fans separated and get everything cleaned up, organized here. I hope you enjoyed us diving into this Alienware. This was interesting for me because I had never done one of these before, so now I have. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all on the next Shark Spacey Alien Adventure.